Pronouns are nouns that we use to refer to people when we're maybe not using their names. So she, her, he, him.
They're kind of like words that we use to identify ourselves.
Words to use to describe someone, to reference someone in the third person.
People use different pronouns often to differentiate themselves, to identify themselves, to speak to their uniqueness, to show people who they are, and to express themselves in their true identity.
A lot of times it can become redundant saying someone's name over and over again. So when you want to refer to them, you use pronouns instead.
Gender-neutral pronouns are pronouns that we use that don't gender individuals.
Pronouns that aren't limited to a binary system.
There's a lot of different gender-neutral pronouns. They, them is probably the most commonly used and is grammatically correct. There are a lot of reasons to ask for a gender-neutral pronoun to be used for someone.
Someone might use gender-neutral pronouns if they're maybe unsure or questioning their gender, or if they're non-binary and they don't want to conform to the gender binary, or if they're gender fluid and they go between different genders.
Gender-neutral pronouns allow for freedom and not restriction, whereas they may consider he or she to be restricting because when you're referring to them, they are automatically assumed to be the gender that corresponds with that pronoun, whereas gender-neutral pronouns are not saying any of those things. It's allowing for that person to have some autonomy of how they identify and how people see them.
For me, they're meant to be very freeing.
Pronouns are especially important in higher education settings because they show when they're being accepted and identified in the right way. They show that the students are being seen and cared for. It's really hard to be in a classroom and to be told you're something you're not.
I found myself having to email professors prior to class, by the way, I use these pronouns or I go by this. I have had professors that were understanding and totally were okay with it right away. Then I've had other professors kind of go about it mockingly or challenge it. So I think it's nice when a professor is already aware and presents it before the student does.
My professor started the class by having everybody introduce themselves and by using the pronouns to refer to themselves. And I had never seen that before. A lot of times people will just assume. And I got a chance to tell everybody that I use they, them pronouns, which I would have never been able to do if my professor hadn't opened that up for a discussion.
Everybody's different, and just because someone looks a certain way doesn't mean that they use a specific set of pronouns. Someone who may look very feminine may use he, him, or they, them.
Pronouns, while they may seem like a very small thing, they're very huge because words do have power. They have power over how people are seen, how people are treated.